Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my good friend.
Hi.
She's an influencer here in Utah and I'm so excited to have her on my channel today. We are going to just be talking about influencer living. Not a lot of people know what it's like to be an influencer and they think it's an easy life.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure that goes into that. And
Absolutely.
Kay has gone through some really crazy events recently. So I would just like to raise awareness to what someone like Kay Jenkins goes through on a day-to-day basis. So, Kay, when did your brand start building speed?
I would say earlier at the beginning of last year.
Okay.
So probably about a year now. I got out of a really unhealthy relationship that was very straining and restricting on what I was supposed to wear and who I was supposed to be. And so when I decided to get out of that, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to be unapologetically self-expressed.
Absolutely.
And wear what I want and do what I want and be exactly who I wanted to be. And I think that really resonated with a lot of people. They started to see that in me, so my following started to grow.
Awesome. Was there any big thing that got you a bunch of followers, or has it just been a good steady growth?
Actually, yeah, I think it started when I was discriminated against.
Okay.
There was a local fitness company that asked me to help start building them up.
Okay.
And I was doing that, influencing. And this is before I kind of realized how etiquette worked, knowing to have an open communication before. So I was just doing it for free. Oh, because I'm a good person, I wanted to do things like that. And actually found out that it was all being used against me. And so when the launch party was going to happen, I had a bunch of girls reaching out hey, are you going to be there? I'd really love to come meet you. And I had to let everyone know I wasn't going to be there because of what happened. And that raised a lot of awareness on who I am and how I operate.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I really started getting out there and more exposure started to reach me.
That's amazing. So how many people recognize you on a day-to-day basis? Do you see people that know you?
I mean, it happens frequently at the bougie bar. I'll be getting my hair done. And you know me, I'm kind of just in my zone while I'm there. And periodically I'll have girls, come up to me and say, oh my gosh, are you okay? I came in here because of you. And then it's we get to connect on that level because, we both share that same interest in wanting to, feel beautiful for the day. It'll happen randomly sometimes at the mall or especially when I'm out. If I decide to step out and go to a club or something for the evening, it's a little overwhelming at that point. Because I'm actually dressed up and look like I do in my pictures. But most of the time, you know me, I don't
just
dress
doing
up.
Your thing,
yeah, exactly. And
woman.
it's just kind of some people are wait, they have to double take. Is that Kay? Because she's not dressed up,
And you don't even care. You're just whatever, this is me.
Exactly. I feel beautiful with or without makeup, and I try to encourage everyone to feel that way. So, I like to practice what I preach. So I really only get all that a couple times a week.
I've been following you for about 2 months now, maybe. And what I've noticed in your stories is that you just connect with your base. And so many people feel really connected to you.
Yeah. I try to make myself relatable. I think that's one of the biggest things about me is that, yes, I do have a large following. Who I am isn't based upon how many followers I have. And I would never want someone to be oh, she's not who she is on Instagram. So really every day when I'm thinking about a post or if I'm doing a shoot, I'm thinking to myself, am I the same person I am in real life as I am on Instagram? That's important to me.
Okay,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable talking about it, I know recently you had something really crazy happen to you.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know Kay, she was targeted, to say the least.
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming. Like I said, when I step out into a club, it was actually kind of weird because 3 minutes before I was getting my coat, I had a group of girls come up to me and acknowledge me and say, "Hey, oh my God, can we take a picture with you?" And I love that because I get to show them who I am. That I'm not going to just brush them off and pretend oh, I don't know who you are, right? So then, the energy shifted within seconds. I had grabbed my coat from CoCheck. It was just after midnight. I wanted to go home because I've got goals that I want to accomplish. I don't want to wake up hungover, right? Exactly. So I was grabbing my coat and I was wearing a big teddy coat from Spoiled.
Yes.
And I had just put it on and it's kind of a blurry, vision from there just because of everything happened so quickly. But 3 girls attacked me from behind. Actually, they grabbed my coat first and then my hair. And then I was hit repetitively. As you can see, my eye's still a little bit swollen and I've got a little bit of red in there. But I got on the ground. After getting on the ground, I immediately knew that it wasn't just one girl that was hitting me, or I obviously would have tried to defend myself at one point. But when there's 3 girls, it's like, I'm just going to take this because I'm not going to get up and hurt myself more trying to do that. So I went into the fetal position to just protect myself as much as possible. It probably took security guards like 2 minutes to get to me, which is insane because it was happened so close to the front of the doors. And they were repetitively like saying, "K Jenkins." I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here.
You're totally good.
But, they knew exactly who I was. They know that I have a disabled brother that I take care of, but, their perception was, you think you're a good person because you take care of your retarded brother. They were, targeting my brother and saying some really horrible things about him. And it was like so overwhelming at once. I was like, is this really happening to me right now? And so when I got up, I saw cameras and lights flashing everywhere. I immediately just put my head into my coat because I didn't want anyone to necessarily see me like that. I was crying. I was upset. And my Uber driver had literally just arrived when they were finished doing that. I'm not alone often, obviously. I'm surrounded by a lot of people. But I was alone in that moment. And these girls saw an opportunity and they took it. And so I don't know what I did for them to feel like they could do that. But I think
yourself, you can't apologize for being yourself, you know?
I think that's exactly what it is, though, is that, people either really resonate and accept someone who wants to be themselves. And you know this, Hunter.
Absolutely.
You're in high school and you are who you are. And I only became who I am outside of high school. And I can't imagine, what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. People either love you or they hate you. And it's because they either accept you and they want to be like you and they can acknowledge that, or they hate you because they can't be like you. It's one of the one of the other options. And so I think it was more of a jealousy thing on this end. And I don't want to be
like, oh, they're just jealous.
I know that I'm a good person and that I try to be that way. And so, at this point, I've put it behind me. I'm already a week out.
And it was insane. So I was watching my story the day after New Year's and I was like tired, obviously. And I'm watching her story and I see these crazy images, these crazy videos. And then within hours, I see Kate posting again inspirational content and just being yourself. And I was shook. That would put me into hibernation mode. I wouldn't be on the internet for days and you just went right at it.
Yeah.
And I was totally inspired.
Well, I think with the amount of messages that I received from people that love me and support me, and there was really over 300 direct messages.
Wow.
And I responded to every single one of them. Because I don't ever want to be that
influencer
that doesn't respond because I think I'm better or whatever reason, right? And I had that much support and love that I had to come back and show whoever it was that tried to attack me, because I know they were watching, because they let me know that they watched me.
Yeah.
And I had to come back and let them know that, look, this is who I am, and you're not going to break me. You're not going to tell me who I can't be or who I am and who I'm not. So yes, I did. I stood back up, and when life knocks you down, you got to get back up and tell her she hits because there's bigger things coming.
What made you decide to take life? What made you decide to take life into your own hands?
So a couple things, like I mentioned, I was in a really suppressed relationship, but I was still,
At
producing
that point,
real estate.
Was your Instagram
It was 5,000.
Okay, was that when were you trying to be K by then? Was that your brand building, or were you just
Kinda, but it was very
that
suppressed.
pre-K by design?
It was very pre-K by design. K by design I actually just structured late last year. I've always been, it's always a great day with K. I've always done, inspirational stuff, but I had never really taken it seriously. I was never
I'll put her Instagram up right here. Go follow her right now. Thanks.
I was really suppressed with it. I wasn't taking it to the level that it had the capacity to reach. And until I had accomplished some personal goals, that internal shit you got to deal with before you can really start helping others, I did. And that's when I broke through that barrier that I had built around myself.
That's awesome. So what keeps you going every day, to be K?
So I think the strongest foundation I have is my disabled brother. I mentioned him earlier. Kyler was in a severe car accident 8 years ago that he ripped his brain stem. And he's been learning how to walk and talk again ever since. The doctors did say that he would be on life support the rest of his life, or he simply wouldn't make it out of his coma. That was the point when both of our parents had sort of stepped out of our lives, and it was just me, and it was up to me to start taking care of him. And that's when I decided to, you know, get my real estate license and start making money and being time and financially free so that I could provide for him and building a life for him. You know, my brother was always like my biggest role model growing up. I knew that when this accident happened, sort of a piece of him was like instilled in me, and I live for both of us, which is kind of crazy. I know it sounds insane. That is really kind of what I feel inside of me has happened. You know, I live for the both of us. I live to make my brother proud. I skydive and jump out of a plane so that we can both feel that that feeling one day. And that's every day when I get depressed or I have one of those days, I have to remind myself what I'm working towards, and Kyler's a huge contributing factor.
That's awesome. What can we expect to see from you in the next coming month?
So kind of a lot.
Okay.
My real estate business is obviously, you know, skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Anyone that's looking to buy or sell in the state of Utah, I specialize in that, and I love what I do. I'm really passionate about it. Also, K by Design is actually officially going to be launched here in the next couple weeks.
And what is K by Design?
K by Design is my life coaching program. This is where I help people elevate their lives and learn the necessary tools, habits, and routines they need in order to live a positive lifestyle so that they're scaling on a higher level and becoming the best possible versions of themselves. I do specialize in young women that are, you know, just kind of looking to get bust out of their shell. But I do work with men as well. I've got a lot of advice on the other side of things. And then I'm also going to be doing quite a bit of modeling this year. I'm collaborating with a lot of fashion brands, bikini brands, and I'll be doing a lot of travel, so vlogs, things like that, and just really sharing the beautiful life that I've created for myself.
Well, I personally cannot wait to see all of this happen, and I'm so excited that you came on my channel today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Like I said, you guys go follow her. I'll put all the links for her down below in the description, and I would love if you liked and subscribed.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Okay, so Kay just left, and we just had a 30-minute conversation where she just was helping me put the most positive energy out for my goals in 2020, and she connected with me. I also wanted to say I'm so grateful to have you guys here, and I'm so excited for 2020. If you're new, I'm Hunter. I inspire self-authenticity, and I will see you guys next time.